Hi guys, welcome to day 31. Also, I came in my Halloween best. 1 second. Let's hope that I don't overheat. Knowing me, I probably will. How's everybody doing? Happy Halloween. Happy day 31. You freaking made it. By the way, look at how cute my tea steeper is. Are we surprised? Not really. How's everyone doing? By the way, really quick, what's something that you're proud of that you did this month, either sticking with these videos or your glow up? Can I tell you one thing that I'm really proud of? I drank tea this month. What is wrong with me? Who am I even? I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm probably gonna end up in a sports bra in like 2 seconds, so I do apologize. Cause you know what? I'm not meant for, like, whenever people like, don't you, I saw a TikTok of like one of my old TikToks from last year, yesterday, and they're like, the comments, does she really wear a romper like that? Yeah, I do. Because I overheat. You would think that I'm like having hot flashes. Maybe I am, but I've been like this my whole life. Okay, so we have a lot to go through today. I do have beans. Is everybody ready for day 31? How are we feeling? Are we excited? And yeah, what's one little thing before we start? What's one little thing that or big thing that you're very proud of? By the way, this group is growing. One thing to note for you guys is if you want to go back and watch this series, we are going to do our very best to load them up as soon as today. So day 0 will go up today on our YouTube channel because Facebook decided that they don't want to leave up the recordings anymore. So thank goodness we caught it. We're pretty sure we caught it, and we started downloading them and saving them to a library, and we're going to upload them one day at a time on our YouTube channel. So it might not be the same as this, like I won't be answering your questions on live, but we will be answering the questions in the comments for sure. So if you need a little refresh or a fresh start, it's gonna be amazing. So that being said, this is my last day with you guys and actually like hanging out with you in person. And then I'll hang out with you guys for the Home for the Holidays launch that I have been completely divulging all the secrets. So let's jump into today. So today is the recap. I promised you that from day 1 to day 31, we would go from Lost AF to Finding Your Fairy Tale. And that is the goal for today, to put a bow on this and to help you go into this next month and to the remainder of the year feeling equipped and feeling like you can or you have found your own version of a fairy tale. So that is my goal for you guys. And of course, I promise today would be the utmost beans. I have divulged a lot over the past, like more than I probably should have over the past couple days. But today is probably the most special and big beans that I'm probably not supposed to share, but you know me, we're gonna do it anyways. So let's go through this as we do the daily grind. 3 steps, 3 big things. First, talking about flow. So the other day we started with this conversation of what flow means, being in a state of flow. So I wanna give you a list. But flow basically means, and look, it looks different for everybody. I'm going to give you a list of this, but when you're in a state of flow, you are in a state of alignment. Time moves a little bit slower in the best way. You're able to do the things that you really enjoy. You feel most like yourself. So let me give you an exact list of what the heck I'm talking about. And I'm watching your comments at the same time because I'm hoping that this hits home for you. All right, so your flow to me is the beginning steps of how you find your fairy tale. So like I said, it looks different for everybody. Time can seem to disappear when you're doing what you love. Example, time becomes irrelevant. A random example of this would be the other day, I filmed it, but I went into the little temporary she shed outside. It's gonna be our sauna, but there's no heat in there right now, but it was lovely. And I was just completely secluded and I just read a book, no phone, nothing. And to me, that was in a state of flow. So it can be whether you are writing or planning or gaming or just doing something that lights you up, that you're not watching the clock. So you lose track of time. You feel energized after, not drained. So painting, designing, being creative, just filling your brain with good stuff. So that to me is being in a state of flow. So and I'm not saying like change your life to only do this, but I'm saying maybe make space for these types of things, depending on your personality. I'm gonna give you a ton of examples. Your mind might feel clear, focused, and free from clutter. So Mental decluttering to me is a state of flow and moving into your fairy tale where you're not juggling 50 tabs. Mental lightness, example, journaling all your thoughts. One thing that I love to do is just like a brain dump on a piece of paper, and all the things that you're thinking, just put them on that piece of paper and let them be and work through it. Organizing your space, getting into a routine. Another one, you can be productive without the weight of stress. That is a fairy tale flow. Flow isn't hustle, it's aligned action. So you're making progress on the stuff that matters to you calmly. You're proud of what you did instead of pressured. You list out your tasks in your planner, just like we always do, but you list out your tasks without being so dependent and weighing your worth on the result. So editing videos with music and tea instead of stress, cleaning up your space while listening to a podcast, prepping content for yourself, just doing it with enjoyment instead of pressure. Feeling fully present. I feel like this is a big one. Fully present, not distracted and not pulled in a million different directions. Flow and living your fairy tale life is presence at the end of the day. It's being present in the little things in life. It's not the ding on your phone or the notification. It's not being reactive to things that you don't need to tend to right away. Reading a good book and not even hearing your phone go off. Cooking while singing along to your playlist. Like, these are being fully present in a romanticized life that truly looks like a fairy tale. When you're working on a project or whatever you're working on, it feels meaningful and exciting. This is huge. The other day we talked about like big jumps and big leaps forward and big bold goals. This is where this falls into play. So your flow and your fairy tale, you're striving for purpose, you're living through passion and stuff that matters to you, not just a day-to-day hamster wheel of a job. Tasks connect to a deeper goal for you that give you a sense of purpose and meaning, and that you have some form of a legacy, or that you're doing something that matters. If you're not doing that on a day-to-day, simply put, that's one of the biggest keys to living your fairy tale, is that you're actually aligned with what you're doing. You feel a sense of worth of your energy, and something that lights you up and sparks inside of you. So writing a book because you know it'll change someone's life, building a brand that feels like an extension of your soul, filming a video that you can't wait to post because it's so you and you know that it will light people up. Those are examples obviously from my own life, but that's stuff that to me gives me purpose, that is also aligned with who I am as a human being. You lose track of time because you're actually enjoying yourself, not just because you're in a state of flow and it's creative, but it also, the joy unlocks the flow. So you can start with the joy. So if it feels fun and not forced, let go of the checklist and just go into the fun version of you. So you catch yourself smiling while you're doing it and you're like, ooh, this is fun. I always have that moment whenever I'm building my fort and doing like the little video and showing that. That one went up yesterday. It's always just super fun. And I'm always like, I'm having a good time here. You're relaxed. You're in a state of play. That's huge. If you can find yourself in a state of play as a full grown freaking adult, yes. I feel like that's the secret to life. I always laugh whenever there's people that comment. It's very rarely, but it does happen that they're like, ew, you go to Disney? Like, you're a full grown adult. I'm like, you grew up. I'm so sorry. Like, it's a thing. Like, I truly feel like people that live that way, not necessarily just Disney, but just being in a state of play, in a state of, like, if you see, I said to Andre the other day, I think it's when we were in Disney, but there was a puddle. Yesterday too, it was raining. I was like, we're not made of sugar. We're not going to melt. When you're little, you jump in the puddle. Like, who cares? So somewhere along the way, we lose that sense of laughter and play. And it's kind of sad. And I feel like that's, to me, a fairy tale flow, is just jump in the fucking puddle. Like, who cares? You're not going to melt. You're not made of sugar. So decorating your home can fall into this. Playing cozy games. I made the cutest Lego. Oh my God. I made a little Mandrake Lego, like doing stuff like that. That just feels like you're playing and you're in a state of fun and laughter and silliness and joy. Creativity. I have to talk about this because I know that there's a lot of people in here that are super creative. Flow and living your fairy tale brings more ideas. When you're in a state of flow and you're in a state of creating, it will bring more ideas. So if you feel like you're stuck and you're like, I don't know what the next step is, I don't know how to be creative next. I can't come up with any more ideas. That state of flow is what will produce it. So if you feel stuck, that's usually lacking in terms of finding, not forcing brilliance, not forcing creativity, but it just comes. So you're in sync with like your inner self and your inner artist and that inner little creative soul within you. You know that they're deep down there. So you have more ideas that you can write down in a day. You feel like you're channeling the creative self in you, not forcing it. So this can be sketching, painting. This can be brainstorming new product ideas for yourself, or new ideas for your life, or new design ideas for your home, or writing a chapter that feels like it wrote itself. So just really finding that level of creativity naturally. Your energy feels steady instead of drained. That is living in a fairy tale flow. Flow restores your energy more than it takes. And even if you're putting in a ton of effort, it feels like you're in a rhythm and not like that sense of resistance and pull. So when your energy is going in the right direction, I feel like when you're going through certain activities, you feel better and better and better at yourself, and you're not crashing or feeling tired at the end of the day. That's flow. So doing a yoga session that recharges you, where you're just recharging that energy and not taking away from it. Batch filming content without burnout. I did this the other day. I batch filmed and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And I you know what? It was like, thank the heavens, because I did not know that all this rain was coming. So apparently Ontario, where we live, well, we live in Quebec, but Ontario and Quebec, we got like the tail end of like a tailspin, I guess, of the winds are coming apparently from the hurricane, which I was like, that's so weird. It's like so south, but it like spun up towards us. Do not feel bad for us. We will be fine. Like we are thinking of Jamaica. We are thinking of Bermuda. We are thinking of all the people that like us Canadians will be fine. But my point is, I, for whatever reason, was in a state of flow, and I was like, I'm having a good time. This from a movie. I quote Christmas movies the whole year. It's in Jingle All the Way when Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, I'm having a good time. That's like, I always say that. But I filmed the first unveiling, and the sun was so bright, and it was coming through the windows, and it was making the covers sparkle. So I was like, I'm just going to film all 6 of them. So I put the blanket, I flipped the blanket over, like every day I had the little flow going. So I batch filmed the content, but I didn't feel stressed. I didn't feel drained. I just chose to do it. And now for like the past, or I've already done 3 days. So the next 3 days, I don't have to be juggling, doing like 20 different things. It's already batched and it's already done. Creating something slowly over time instead of feeling like the pressure to do it, even something that could be enjoyable. I was going to use this as an example. My husband's going to think I'm calling him out. If you cannot sit and do something as simple as Lego, and I'm more calling myself out. So the other day, whenever I started doing the Lego, I felt like I had to finish it because I was filming the video. And that's one thing that, like, if you do content, or it could fall under anything with children or any category of your life, that you're doing something that should be enjoyable, but you're feeling the pressure to finish it. And I just stopped and I was like, you don't need to finish the Lego. Everything's going to be fine. So if you're feeling like with work, or even just simple happy tasks like gardening and cleaning the house and cooking, that you feel rushed all the time, slow it down. It shouldn't be draining you. It should be giving you energy. I think we have 2 more. Making progress without burning out, burning the candle at both ends. So you're doing things that feel productive, but with your wellness in check. So it doesn't have to be go, 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 go. And I feel like this, more often than not, it's not necessarily just other people that are doing it to us. It's us doing it to ourselves. So it's not at the expense of your mental health. You can get things done. So I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but you can get things done and you can be productive without the expense of your mental health. Now, is that to say, I'm going to just give you a little dose of tough love. This does not mean the hashtag balance and hashtag, what's this trend that's, instead of 75 hard, it's like 75 soft. I've said it since the beginning of this series. I think 75 hard is absolute bullshit, because you start, and if you miss a day, it's like, no, you suck. You're going to start back at day 0. That's not real life. I equally think that this soft girl lifestyle thing of like, let's do it easy. No, girl, know your worth. You're better than that. That's no. It does. So how about we meet in the middle? We don't have to be super mean to ourselves and rip ourselves apart. We have to start at day 1, but we also don't have to sit on the couch all freaking day and watch endless episodes of Gilmore Girls. We can be healthy, happy, and productive. Does that make sense? So just a little dose of tough love. So where productivity meets wellness, like both can coexist. You don't have to do nothing or everything. They can live together. So taking breaks without guilt, stopping and recognizing your results, like celebrate yourself, feeling proud and balanced. So completing a workday and calling myself out, completing a workday and being satisfied with that workday, counting your small wins and not going back in and being like, I could do more before 9 p.m. Let's not do that. Crossing things off your to-do list without chaos, launching things or doing things in your life without an all-nighter. I personally vowed through school, so anybody that's going through school right now, either through college or university, I was almost like bred in university. They loved it. They're like, you got to pull all-nighters. And I remember seeing it like first day, because so I walk in as a first year and all these people had like, they're like, we stayed up all night. And they were all like, I don't want to sound mean, they're all stoners. So I was like, because in architecture, it was like a thing. Not all architecture schools are like that. Mine was more artistic than technical. I think the one in Montreal is more technical. Not that you need to know all this, but as a kid, so I'm walking into university first day, I'm nervous because it's very tight. It's a very tight niche, tight like cliquey type of program. And the professor says on day one, there is 75 of you. By the end of the first semester, there will only be 50 of you. By your fourth year, there will probably be about 30 of you. And I remember thinking three things. I'm going to be one of those 30 people. I'm never going to do drugs, and I'm not pulling a stupid fucking all-nighter because I'm not going to burn myself out to pass like I can do this. And I never pulled an all-nighter. Do you want to know what I did? Literally the week after I graduated, I started building my business and I was like, I'll pull an all-nighter for me, not for a professor. And that's what I did. So you don't have to. So anybody that's in school or if you're working for a boss, like sometimes it felt like my professors were like a boss. And I remember one day I left school. I'm going to try and get through. I did not realize I was going into this conversation, but it's fine. My mom called because my grandfather was dying, the cardinal one. So I told my professor, I'm like, I gotta go. And he said, go, yeah, don't worry. And he said, don't worry about your project. And I was like, okay. And I remember I was in heels and I never wear heels. And I was running through, there's like tunnels in school and I was running and my brother called me. He was like, don't come. It's done. It's over. So I was like, okay. So as a family, we were like together that night and over the next day. And then I think Monday came and I get to school and the same professor was like, where's your project? And I was like, do you not remember the conversation that we had? And it was like a disappointed boss that wanted to fire me. And I was like, I can have it ready for tomorrow, but you said, so it was kind of one of those things where he's like, yeah, you're going to stay up all night now and do it. And I often think about that's, I think professors and bosses act that way a lot, where they forget things that they say and they want you to work overtime for things that truly might not matter in the moment. So just not taking away your own peace, your own alignment, your own values, your own family, your own special moments, your own hard moments, like not taking that away from yourself. So making progress without burnout. And the last one, when you're in your state of fairytale flow, you feel the most like yourself. I feel like me in that moment, aligned, grounded, at peace. So you feel peaceful even when you're being productive. There's no inner conflict. There is clarity in what you're doing. Your environment, action, and your energies are aligned into what you're doing. Your values are aligned. If you see, you know how the day that I spilled all the beans, if you see something that you're like, this is not who I am, like I do not believe in these actions, you feel confident and clear to walk away. That is living with who you truly are as a human being. It's either the way you were raised or just your beliefs of this is wrong. So this can be when you're creating and innovating new things that you want to do, either for your life or for a side hustle that you want, that it aligns with a bigger purpose and a goal. It can be when you're sitting with your planner, with your cup of tea or with your coffee, and your goals truly align with who you actually are. And just living a day, every day, that feels like a fairy tale where it's the dream version of you. That to me is a fairy tale flow. So while you don't have to be every single one of these examples that I just listed, flow is literally being in alignment with who you are, and being in a state of flow is your fairy tale life. So unlocking that, and I feel like we made so much progress towards that, even if it was little. you can feel that sense of joy every single day, even if it's little, and that sense of purpose. And I feel like that's what, at the end of the day, and to bring this full circle, what you're chasing is purpose and passion and meaning in this world. So if you can just go back to that and really live your life like a fairy tale, that you're authentic to yourself. Speaking of authentic, there's a chipmunk waiting at the door for me. I don't have anything, buddy. Actually, I do, but later. But that's an example of fighting for something that is so authentically you that you might not have uncovered. Who would have known that Angie Belmar loves the animals and the chipmunks, and they bring me so much joy? That's it's such a random example, but it's being in alignment with who I am, and it truly does feel like a fairy tale. Like Snow White vibes. Find your Snow White. Find your Elsa. Find your Pocahontas. Find your Vanellope. All right, so let me pull up my notes here. I have a lot to share today and a lot of beans to spill. I want to see what you guys are saying too. Yay, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it, I love it, I love it. So we've gone through the flow that equals alignment, your fairy tale flow, the full list of how this looks different for everybody. And let's cap this off. So I'm gonna spill multiple beans, big beans, and I have my notes here. So I feel like the third thing today that I just want to leave you with is the work doesn't end today, and I promise to be here and like help you through it. But I feel like just this sense of growth that you've probably had over the past 31 days, whether it be little things that sparked something to come that could be very big, or maybe you had a massive epiphany where you're like, I'm not doing that anymore, and this is who I truly am, whatever it might be. I never want you to stop dreaming. I feel like that's the true fairy tale life, is when you stop dreaming and you start to kind of slow down and give up, and you're like, maybe it's just not for me. That's, I feel, when the dream ends. So picking yourself up, reinvigorating yourself, and realigning yourself with who you truly are so that you can live your fairy tale life. And that is truly the purpose of this group, to help you set big, crazy, massive, insane goals for yourself that light you up, that excite you. I feel like that is truly why we created that group. So on that note, I figured, I kind of alluded to this the other day, but it's very personal, but I will share it because what we do in this group and our mission moving forward, I think very much has to do, more than anything, has to do with you guys. And we wouldn't show up for this group and, for lack of a better word, manage and curate and try to mama bear a group of 6,000 people to just help, to just be there for support. Because I think that it's very common that people will invest in their future, they'll buy a planner, and then they're just kind of like left with it. And I think what makes this different is the community. It's you guys. It's being able to do this. It's being able to hang out together. It's feeling like you're not alone. That if you're like, I don't know, random examples of like, my spouse is not supportive of what I'm doing, what do I do? And you can come into this group. Or I have this really big goal that I want to buy a really fancy vehicle. Can I do, like, this is my goal. This is what I want to do. Or how do I use this planner? And like, are my goals good? Like, does this make sense? You can use the group for that. So our mission, it will always have been the same, but moving forward, I feel like we're dialing it in. And truthfully, the past 31 days even helped me with this. So thank you for being here, because you guys helped me as well. So the Daily Grind mission, I'm going to read it. Equip, inspire, prove. Obviously, we want to equip you with beautiful, effective, no fluff, incredible tools that bridge the intention of your life with action. I want you to pick up a planner or an insert or even a cozy blanket and a tumbler and feel like you can reset and be like, okay, I've got this. So if that means that, let's say you've fallen off a little bit and one of the holiday, like the elf one or the peppermint one, really inspires you, and that's what draws you to changing your life, then I love that. And that's where it's meeting fun with beautifully curated, designed products that have something that will give you a swift kick in the booty and change your life. So if we can pair that and equip you with the planners, the inserts, digital products, community spaces, whatever it might be, and whatever is to come, that is our goal. So equip, inspire through my own honest storytelling, my own life. Truthfully, this entire 31 days was drawn out and built from what I took myself through this summer. So if I can show you that, that's always the goal, is just through authentic storytelling from our customers, from our creators, from my own life, that I just come in and I share the transformation and showing that it's real life and that it's possible, and personal growth can be both incredibly exciting, but also attainable. Like, it's not this fairy tale fake thing that doesn't exist. You can live your fairy tale life. And then the third one is prove. So prove that, this one's the biggest one, prove that discipline and dreams can coexist together. You can have a fairy tale life where you're living your dream, but there is also discipline, and you are a badass, and you are a girl boss, and you show up and you kick ass every single day, but you also have that magic in your life. That is our goal. So burnout does not need to happen with success. It doesn't go side by side. Success does not equal burnout, and balance and ambition can live together side by side. So that's our goal for you guys. And then I did a little checklist of, if it authentically inspires and someone can take action from it, it's a yes, we're going to do it. So this series, it's a yes. 31 days of lives. You think it's hard to show up for 31 days of life to watch? Imagine putting a face on every single day amongst all the other things that are going on. So, but it's so worth it to me, because if it can cause a positive trajectory in your life, where it's like that butterfly effect of you hearing one little thing and it changes things down the road in that little ripple effect, then absolutely. If it inspires and empowers someone to take action, then yes. If it offers real tools, systems, stories that create clarity and confidence for you, it's a yes. If it sacrifices creativity, integrity, peace, or a quick buck, it's a fuck no. That is our little mission. If it feels forced, performative, or disconnected from the brand's heart, it's a no. If it genuinely helps one fall in love with their life again, then it's a yes. Okay, so on that note, the beans. That was a little bit of beans. What I think like 2 of you might have said this through this series, and you guys were like, she's reading something. I am reading something. I was reading over 180 pages that I took you through. And what I was doing every single day was taking you through the 10 chapters of the Get Your Ish Together book that we'll be launching later this year into 2026. And it's the first of, we're hoping, a series of books. So the first one will be Get Your Ish Together, Lost AF edition, Life edition. We want to have a glow up one. We want to have one for your goals and your manifestation. We want to have one for growth, skills, and progress. We want to have one for how to romanticize your life and work on your mental health and live a cozy fairy tale life. We want to have one for productivity. We want to have one for boundaries and your own personal self. So we have been working on a lot behind the scenes. And the goal is that I'm going to get in so much trouble for saying that. The goal is that one little thing that I've mentioned throughout this series, that each of the books would have a little companion that would come with it too. I'm going to get fired for saying that. But yeah, I'm so proud of you guys for showing up. This was beyond special. And I know I keep saying it, but it really was therapeutic for me, because not only did I get to go through and see the parts of the chapters of the book. So there's 10 chapters. Do you want to hear the chapters? Again, probably not supposed to share. And it could change, by the way, because you're literally a part of the first run through of the final draft. So it could change. But what was really cool is going through all this and seeing in real time what hit and what was I think we could fix that, because it was I don't feel like that hit as hard for them. So you guys really helped with the creation of this. So step 1, if you remember, we went through the ish. What is the ish? Name it. Enough is enough. Recognize the moment. You can't keep living this way. Step 2 was Lost AF. Figure out exactly where you are. and start charting your course forward. Step 3 was to dream out loud, get crystal clear on your vision. Step 4 was micro momentum, small little steps forward. Step 5 was flow and glow. Step 6 was the playbook. Step 7, you didn't get to hear that part because we needed to wrap this up. It was called the bull. Oh wait, did we do that one? No, yeah, we did. The bullshit detox. Yes, we did do it. I didn't skip anything then. Step 8 is your freedom. Step 9 was the hard reset. And then step 10 was your fairy tale flow. So we did go through everything. I thought we had to skip a chapter to get through everything. So you literally helped so much with this. I was just thinking, can you see the reflection of what I'm showing? So Get Your Ish Together, Life Edition, Clarity, Action, Mindset, Goals, and Systems is the first rendition. I'll give you the biggest lore ever. It's an acronym. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Well, I said it. Clarity, Action, Magic. I can't say anything else because then I'm actually gonna get fired. This was absolutely incredible. I love you guys so much. I hope that you truly took from this series, whether it's big or small. And if you could, either you can post it in the group as a post. We would actually love that. You can write as a comment, and if you're shy and you don't want to, you can write it to us privately, or just to yourself if you don't want to share it. But just how this series changed your life. Like, what did you do for yourself that will, the team song, I'm in trouble. What did you do for yourself that has changed you forever, that you're gonna look back and be like, I can't believe how much I've grown. Like, I can't believe what I did to transform my life. So share the wins, share the breakthroughs in the comments. You can post it as a post. We want to gather all of this. And like I said, we will put up the recording on our YouTube channel, and I can't wait to divulge more beans for you guys. But I'm just very excited and very, very grateful for all of you. So thank you for showing up every single day, and I just love you guys so much. And I can't believe it's our last day. I love you. Love you guys. Bye, dudes.